All right. Welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. Heading home. It is about going 11:30. I got a few more minutes to try to make it to that to that bus. You know, I got in the house and I had to just relax because my back was so compressed from sitting on the hard chair. And you know, I was telling Pam, I'm like, hey, you know, you gotta go be with Alyssa. Oh, what do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? You know, sit there until she get her hair braided? Yes. I'm like, it is 11 o'clock at night, Pamela. How the hell are you going to not be with your child getting here? I had to tell her, I said, listen, next time, don't make no appointments for her during the week in the afternoon, okay? Do that shit on the weekend, on a Saturday, early. You know, like this woman, she's like impossible, man. Really impossible. And then they were firing gunshots aside. You know, I did a video. I only caught the last one of it, but they did like four or five times, 4 or 5 gunshots. You know, and I told her, I said, listen, you didn't hear the gunshots aside? Oh, what do you want me to do? Am I a shield? I'm like, this woman, she just don't quite understand. That's not the point, Pamela. Right? The point is that you don't know where that gunshot is from. It could be on the block that she's getting her hair done at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like the fact that it's 11 o'clock and you don't want to be there with your daughter who's 12 years old. Right? I told her, I said, we were there from 5 o'clock and I stayed till 10:30. Right? I couldn't even sit up straight. I literally have to do this, lean forward the majority of the time, or I'm leaning all the way back. Right? And this is the mindset. When I talk about how they manipulate this woman, how she's been used and manipulated and abused, and she don't even see because she's part of a cult. And her job is more important than any damn thing else, even her children's lives, even her children's education. Now I understand, yeah, you need a job to pay your bills and stuff like that, yes, but not at the expense of your damn children. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta tell you, this is why they have a lot of women, particularly black women, in the workplace, because black men not going for shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Black men not going for shit like that. Oh, damn it, missed the bus. Look at that shit. Look at that. Right? Black women will let their bosses, you know, have them work late knowing that they have children at home. All these women will just take the opportunity to try to show their boss, well, I'm a hard worker and this and that, and I'm gonna stay late and F them kids. You know, I keep telling them, I say, you can't be coming home at 8 o'clock and then want to cook for these kids on the school night. And all I ask you to do, I say, hey, I'll cook if you season the meat, and you won't even do that. Even when I'm compromising with your ass, you want to do that. Then she goes downstairs and she came back up and she's like, did you see a package for me? I said, no. Did you let me know that there was a package for me? For you? No. I said, well, okay, well, there you go. I'm not, you know, at this time it is 11, you know, I came upstairs around almost 11:50, something like that. I said, you didn't tell me you had a package. You waited till you go downstairs now, and then you walk up and ask me. You know, I said, listen, you know, that's your, you know, your attitude has always been a problem, because you think people are just going to just do whatever you want them to do, right? Because those men are not listening to you. They're just fucking you. That's all they do. Yeah, they take you out to dinner, and that's it. They may take you to a party, and that's it. But by the time you're done, you're going to be like some of these women out there sleeping with over 200 men. Or there's just that one dude you're always going to go back to. You know what I'm saying? And guess what's going to happen? And if you're not wearing protection, guess what? You're going to be catching STDs all the damn time. I tell her, I said, I'm trying to wake you up to what's going on. But you just want to be stuck on stupid. You know, And she's on the phone with one of her girlfriends, and I said to her, you know, whoever you're on the phone with must not have children, because I'm sure they're not going to allow their child to be in a barbershop slash braiding salon at 11 o'clock at night. I called you, I let you know I was leaving. You should have been getting dressed and being on the way. I had to come into the house to argue with you. When I talk about this woman is impossible, and that's why they had the gunshot. They were doing the gunshot, because I confronted her. I'm like, listen, you need to go and be with your daughter. Oh, I'm going to go get her when she's finished. That could be 1 o'clock at night, Pamela. That could be 2 o'clock at night. When I left there, we've been there from 5 o'clock. I left there, she hadn't even finished braiding the back of Alyssa's hair. She had to do both sides and the top. Okay, and we've been there from 5 o'clock. I left there at 10:30. And of course, because, they were all running, psychological operations, trying to, and they were microwaving me too. I went out she wanted some water, and I went out and I had to walk all the way to the bodega on the end of the block, Pam's block. There was a store that was right next to the beauty salon. I'm like, why didn't I go in there? Why did I walk? And when I walk all the way up there was a New York Predator police vehicle parked up with these two white racist cops inside of it. And of course, they Sambos circling around targeting me. You know what I'm saying? So I can always tell when I'm being microwaved and being remote neural monitoring. Because one of the things that it does, it affects your central nervous system. Okay? And like I said, they're using invisible technology, wireless microwave, radio wave frequency to manipulate us, and it affects our central nervous system. So once you know that, it doesn't matter if you're nervous or not. Once you understand that, there's nothing you can do because you're going to be nervous. Okay? I need you to understand that. But it's to try to make you afraid and to put you in that fight or flight phenomenon. So despite all the nervousness, I didn't go in the fight or flight phenomenon. Like I tell them, I'm always going to be in the fight phenomenon. And that's what they were trying to do, and it didn't work. Because why? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is my armor. See, they talk about they got the armor of God. They ain't got no damn armor of God, right? They got protected by the blood of Jesus. Yeah, how many of your pastors say that, right? But yet, when it comes to COVID, after churchgoers start dropping dead because they was talking about the blood of Jesus bullshit, that blood of Jesus didn't work on your ass, did it? Huh? That you have to run and go get the vaccine, did you? Again, I keep saying y'all saying shit that y'all don't believe because it sounds good. And one thing we know about black people, as I said, European people, they love to say shit to make themselves feel good. Yeah, noise campaign. running noise campaign. You see that you hear the car that was driven up there with the loud muffler. And I keep saying, man, we are a dead-minded people. All right, so we're not, religion zombifies your mind. You don't think. Yeah, you can't, when it comes to that believing shit, that belief system, you don't become a critical thinker. You become a believer, okay? And you need to go read the difference between having a believer's mind and having a mind that's a critical thinking mind. It's a big difference. It's a huge difference, okay? All right, so now let me see how long this other bus is going to take now, because normally, this bus usually come a lot faster, because I had missed one already, and this one took it said 15 minutes, and I should have left 10 minutes, but Pam came back upstairs. I think what they were doing, they were manipulating her so that we can leave the house together, because they're always trying to use her, man. They're always trying to use her. There are some women and men, I should say that also, European women and men, because they're in a certain positions that they think that they, this and such, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But you start to see how they treat people. Treat people as they're beneath them. That's the European mindset. That has never been an African mindset. And like I said, that's why, you know, the sociopaths and psychopaths, if you're not conditioned to be that, you're not going to really move up in certain positions, right? Particularly in corporate America, where you have to make decisions in which you cannot care about the thousands of lives that you're going to destroy because of greed. All right, I want you guys to understand that. And they know this. Like I said, you know, they have to create this kind of mindset within the population. I had to tell my son tonight, I said, you know, your mother got you and Alyssa in therapy, but she's the one that needs therapy. And she doesn't want to go get therapy because there's nothing wrong with she thinks that there's nothing wrong with her. I offered to help her when she was on vacation, to come over and help her clean up her apartment. She wasn't interested in that. She was interested in sleeping and going out. That was her interest. That was her interest. Because I told her, I said, I'm not doing that by myself anymore. I'm not doing it. You've told me not to clean your house. I said, okay, fine, because, you know, every time I clean the house and you make a mess, I can't say nothing. And I refused to do that. So she was like, well, don't clean it. I said, okay, fine. Then Christmas time come, all of a sudden, you know, are you going to help me clean? I said, no. I said, I want no part of that. That's exactly what I told her. I said, I want no part of that. Did you not tell me not to clean? Now, all of a sudden, Christmas coming, now you talk about, oh, how your house is messy, right? But even before that, you didn't notice how messy it was. But as soon as, you know, coming around Christmas, oh, okay, I got 8 minutes. All right, not bad. Right? But when Christmas coming now you're talking about, you know, oh, you need to clean up. You keep saying it, but you're not doing it. Right? You keep saying it because you think that saying it that I'm going to start cleaning. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I've learned my lesson. My experience have taught me not to trust things that you say when it comes to certain things. You will lie to me as if it was nothing. Because I keep telling her, even since, you know, a couple years into our relationship, I said, Pamela, you have no respect for me. Okay, so I am not going to do certain things that I used to do anymore. And even though I still did certain things, I you know, like even when we was breaking, I was still giving her buy her Christmas present, birthday gifts. Did she buy me any Christmas present, birthday gift? No. So I stopped that too. Right? And when them dudes didn't buy her Christmas gift and birthday presents, you know, she's excited to get a gift from me. But I keep telling her, I said, listen, Pamela, you are not the only woman with your mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand. When you have a group of people who have the exact same mindset, that's conditioning. That is conditioning. You really need to learn about psychology, psychological manipulation, and brainwashing for you to understand certain things. Okay? You have women out there who will leave their relationship because they got a new job or they get the degree, so now they think that they're better, right? Then they find out that, you know, yeah, you might have a degree, you have a better job, but guess what? Men see you exactly for who you are. They're not taking you seriously because the fact that you think you deserve them, and the only reason why you think you deserve them is because you got a degree, you got a PhD, or you might make 6 figures. You bring nothing else to the table. You bring no friendliness, no conscious awareness, no a wife mindset, right? You want a traditional man, even though you're making all that money? Those men are not looking for you. They're looking for younger women who they know have what they need and what they want, which is youth, fertility, friendliness, the ability to mold, shape. And they would be like, well, you know, that those men are predators. No, they're not. No, they're not. Because women your age refuse to listen. Right? Women your age have been manipulated. Women your age think that y'all can have 3 or 4 kids by different men and expect a man that who you were never interested in to come rescue you. And some of these men who they call simps, right? All of a sudden, oh, I'm gonna get her now. Yeah, but dude, she already had 3 kids by 3 different men, right? And now she wants you to come take care of her. She don't really love you. She's looking for you to rescue her, right? And it's not to say that they're in the gym working out, changing their mindset, being the best woman that they can be to those men. Because I tell you what, you gonna wife her up, and guess what? If one of those men come back into her life, or is one of those men that she is highly attracted to, she gonna be cheating on you, left and right. Go look at the paternity test. Go look at the percentage. Okay, you have some of these women bringing 3 and 4 men to court because they couldn't find out, because they don't know who their father is. So it just goes to show you have to ask the question, how many men are they sleeping with? This is why they don't want you to ask them about their body count. This is why they will lie to you, right? Because in order for those to rule and continue to rule, they have to create chaos within the society. They have to create trauma. Poverty is trauma. And when you grow up in poverty, you are traumatized, right? When you grow up in an environment where you don't have healthy food, where there's smog, you have lead, all this stuff, it is traumatizing, not only to your brain, but to your body. They know this stuff. They know this. We're the ones who don't, because we're believers. We are believers. Right? Pick up a book other than Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the Bible. How can I manifest shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, pick up a book on investing, financing. Right? By economists. Not by these get rich quick scheme. They'll tell you, oh, you know, if you somebody said, what was it? Or if you invest $2,000 in Apple in the next 20 years, you'll have like $20,000. Really? You see, this is again, when I tell you that whole investment shit is bullshit, when it comes to the average working class person in America, it is. If in order for you to have investment, you need to have tens of thousands of dollars at minimum. At minimum. Right? Because if the market crash and you invest $5,000 in a company, you're gonna lose that. You're gonna lose it. When you look at the middle class people who have investments, they're investing at least $20,000 to $30,000 on a stock. Nothing less. Because if you want good returns, you need to invest heavily. You need to invest a lot of money. There are people out there who make big investment and they don't work, because every year they would draw money, and that's their annual income, right? So it could be $150,000 a year, half of what that investment will yield. Okay, because you're allowed to withdraw a certain percentage, right, without being heavily taxed on it, right? And that's their yearly income. The majority of people don't have that type of money to do this type of investing. Okay? I'm telling you. You ever see people who win the lottery? People in poverty that win the lottery? Do you know that the vast majority of them end up going broke? Do you know that? If you are not educated in how to invest and have good investment, also to curb your spending habits, because now you got money, you're not going to hold on to that money. All right, go look at the statistics on young black people who parents leave their homes and leave some sort of inheritance, right? Within just like football players, right? After, when they retire from the NFL after 10 years, they're broke. It's the same with those individuals, right? So if your parents were lucky enough to own a home, might leave you a home, or might leave you, $200,000 right, as an inheritance, right, within less than a decade, those people end up back in poverty. And it's not just me saying that. These are the things that we need to be teaching our children when they're young. I wasn't taught that. A lot of us wasn't taught that. A lot of us are still not being taught that. We keep failing our children because that is the mindset they've created within us. If we didn't succeed, then our children is not going to succeed and be better than us. Where it used to be like, we want our children to be better than us. No, you want them to be worse than us. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right.
Next stop, Church Avenue and Rogers Avenue. Please exit through the door.